In this unit, we're going to review number lines, the number line and several operations. The number line is the most basic concept in mathematics. Even when you go to really higher level math, you will still be using it. So let's look at an example here. So if I have negative 11 plus 8, how do I do this problem on the number line? I want you to start with your pencil tip on negative 11. And then because it's a plus, you have to go to the right. If it's negative, then you go to the left. Okay? So let's do that. So I started with negative 11, and because it's plus, I'm going to jump 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And wherever I finally landed, that's my answer there. And here is another example. 4 plus negative 2 equals what? So I will start with 4. I'll use green here. Now I'm now adding a negative number. Negative, I go left by 2. So I end with a 2. So start with your pencil tip on the first number, then move right if it's adding a positive, move left if it's a negative. Okay, so let me do another example here. I'm going to move the sheet up. Multiple representations of adding integers. Different ways to explain it or represent it. So in number, I'll give you the example here. It's negative 5 plus 3. You plug in your calculator, you would have positive 3. In words, we can make up a problem. How about the football team was pushed back 5 yards during the first play? So the football team was pushed back. Or I can say the volleyball team lost 5 points in the first 10 minutes. Pushed back 5 yards during the first game, first play. Then I have to come up with plus 8. Then they gained 8 yards back during the second. Then they were able to gain 8 yards during the second play. So everybody starts from 0. They were pushed back by 5. So they landed in negative 5 here. And then from here on, they gained 8 back to the positive. 6, 7, 8. So then they jumped all the way back. Oops, I'm sorry, I did not draw that nice. Jumped it all the way back here. So now they're back at 3. That's how it's consistent with how we calculate it in the calculator, right? 0 pairs, I'm going to ignore this. For those of you who want to learn about it, it's basically I can start with 2, 3, 4, 5. I lost 5. And then from here, I gain 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And notice that one positive, one negative cancels each other out. So I gained 3. But this is quite tedious. We'll see this in using in algebra that much. So next one. Use the number line to subtract 2 numbers. So here's an example. Subtraction. Negative 2 minus 8 equals what? Now, again, it's the same thing. Start your pencil tip on the first number, -8. And now, -8 is the same as jumping to the left by 8. So you land in -10. That's your final answer. Another example, 5 minus 11. So 5 is here. I will use the green. And then if I minus 11, that means I'm jumping 11 times, right? All the way to 11. So all the way to -6. That's the answer. Again, put your pencil tip on the first number. If it's a plus, go to the right. If it's a positive number, go to the right. If it's a negative number, go to the left. Let's do another example. So now I have, this is really important, I'll use red. -1 minus a minus number. What does this equal to? So one thing I want you to remember is that when we have a parenthesis, it's a multiplication. So a negative, here's a invisible 1 here. A -1, so we got to operate that first. A -1 times a -8 gives me, double negative gives me a positive. So now I know how to do this. Put my pencil here, and then I jump 8. So I should jump 8 to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I would jump to 7. That's the final answer. Another example, 4 minus -1 equals 5. So again, double negative makes a positive. That's how I came up with 5. And if you want to do it on the number sign, so it's easy. 4 starts 4 plus 1. Okay? So for the rest of the page, actually for the next section of the page, see if you can solve this problem by yourself. So I want to give you this, -7 minus -5. Solve it by numbers, find example in words, use number line. If you know how to do the zero pairs, you can go ahead and do it. If not, you can ignore that. Okay? I forgot one last thing. At the bottom of this sheet, I really like this section. How do you change a subtraction problem into an addition problem? So what's the example here? The 2 examples we did on top are good examples. So in this case, again, you make this double negative into a positive. So that gives you a +1. Another example is -6 plus 7. Use the number line, use the calculator, or use the commutative property to swap them, and you have the same thing. Okay? So in this case, I want you to write it down. Instead of subtracting the second number, we should add the opposite of the second number. It's just a fancy way of saying this double negative turns into a positive there. All right? This part is not hard at all, but it does require you to pay a lot of attention and double check your work. So more additional practices will come your way, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.